Yo guys, what's up? It's Mike from Just Lifestyle and I am training 42 minutes today. This is the morning before my first round of the English Championships. As you can see here, I am seeded number 73, so I'm quite excited to be right at the bottom of this list. Not much to lose. And yeah, it's just gonna be a blast, I think. It's gonna be grueling, don't get me wrong, for 4 days, but I'm quite looking forward to playing. And actually, today's round starts at 11 a.m. as opposed to 10 a.m., so I've got a bit more time in the morning. And I actually wanted to give it a go of actually doing some woodpecker method and seeing like if this actually helps, like doing a warm up in the morning. Thank you, Arjun, for the good luck. I definitely need it. But yeah, let's do some puzzles. Basically, the pairings will come out at 10, so exactly 1 hour before. I have a good idea of who I'm playing already, and I've had done a little bit of preparation already. But you never know. Maybe the pairings will change. Someone will. Oh, actually, no. The pairing should definitely change because there are certain people taking a bye in the first round. So I probably could like work out exactly who I'm playing, but whatever. Like it's more important that we do some practice. I think. How much elo do you want to gain? I just want to be in the positive by the end. Positive FIDE by the end. That's the goal. I don't care if it's like 1 point even. Which isn't going to be easy because you've got a lot of players who like have ECF ratings 200 points higher than the FIDE. So it's not going to be easy to gain. But okay. I also feel like I'm underrated in general, both ECF and FIDE. So on a good day, I think we can do well. Okay, so we've got opposite color bishops and pawn up. This is the only move. Okay, we've got a few moves that threaten mate. Threaten promotion and mate. But which one is best? I remember this one actually. Oh, perfect. I need to take some hay fever pills. I was thinking whether I'd get to do this, so okay, I'm glad I remembered by sneezing. I'll put this here. Yeah, this one is interesting because basically, I want to have my king on c7 so that when they play bishop c6, I can play a6 and then try and take. At least this is the first idea that comes to my mind. I have the spidey sense that actually that was the wrong idea for this puzzle. Yeah, if I were to make like a waiting move, the thing is then they just play king here. I don't know how I go from there. And if I ever try and come round, they can always come back at that point. I really do need to stop this though. So didn't I feel like I had an idea like this, and if they go bishop c6, no, I can't like lose a move somehow. And man, I don't have any recollection of how to win this. I do remember doing the puzzle though. I just don't remember how to do it. You can see I'm slow though, right? Oh, Arjun, you clever man. You clever man. A6 immediately. I need to look at more forcing moves. Absolutely. A6, if pawn takes king d7. And if bishop c6, then king takes c6. And okay, it's easily winning with the extra bishop. Forcing moves. Reverse the move order. Yes. These are all very important pieces of advice. And you have to go king d7, not king d8, because you got to cover this square. And I remember making this mistake last time because I basically didn't want to give up my asset of a5. So it was really hard for me to find this move. But yeah, the point is, okay, if you're queening, you're queening. So, okay, definitely good to be warming up this morning, I think. Okay, it looks like e6 is strong, because if queen takes, then we've got rook e1. If pawn takes, then we've got queen h5, and I feel like this bishop hangs. And that's probably enough. Ah, but wait. If we go queen h5... Oh, for some reason I thought they were blocking on e7 and protecting, but no, we're checking on a light square. So I feel like this looks very strong. Let's go for it. Nice. Okay. I wonder if a move like knight g5, basically baiting knight takes g5, which might even be forced, queen h2, king f1, queen h1, king e2 forced, rook e8 check, and then on king d2, maybe we've got some follow-up, like bishop a5, and we pick up this piece at the end. Looks very good, right? And if they don't take on g5, what else can they do? The thing is, I'm hitting h3 as well. No, I think knight g5 is the move. It looks really strong. Oh, that's such a bullshit move. I feel like everyone is gonna play this queen h1. Ah, but a knight defends e1, so that's not enough. Oh dear. The knight defends e1, so maybe it's not enough. No, it should be enough. I don't get it. Queen h1, king e2, rook check. Ah, they can block with the knight. Ah, that's annoying. I didn't see that. I thought like king d2 or king d1 was needed. But even king d1 then, maybe that's actually okay, because the knight still defends. But at the same time, if check king e2, you've always got knight queen takes g2 at the very least. But apparently this is even stronger. Ah, that's so annoying. Let's see. Alright, so let's have a look at this with an engine. Okay, so knight g5, knight takes, queen h2, king f1, and takes on g5 only move. Queen h1, king e2. And yeah, you gotta take on g2. Apparently this is not enough because of knight e3, which is, yeah. And king d1, I actually thought this would just be lost instantly, but I forgot the power of his knight. This whole calculation, I was not seeing this move at all. So okay, we need to improve on this. What do you think of the cow opening? It's just not good, I feel like, but it's got the similar perks of like a slug or any of these system openings, that it is a system, and you can basically put your pieces on those squares every time, and therefore you get a lot of experience as how the pawn structures change and how the resulting positions go. So I think like from that perspective, it is quite useful and quite decent. But I don't really see what the perks of the openings are, except for putting the knights on funky squares. I preferably I was about to say I preferably prefer them on c2 and f2 in a true slug opening than g3 b3, where they can kind of be targeted. But I guess it's slightly faster, right? I mean, you want to push the pawns in the center anyway, and you just go knight d2, knight b3, as opposed to knight c3, knight f3, knight c2. But okay, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same in terms of tempi. I can't believe that GM, was it a GM who played it against her in the first round of the Reykjavik Open? That's so funny. Like, the guy was just straight up confident enough to be like, I can play whatever and I'm gonna win. And of course he does. I've just got to wait for the day that someone plays like the slug in one of my games against me, in like a serious game. Ooh, I've just seen the idea of knight g3, which I should have seen earlier because it's a check, right? Knight g3 and the king is like smothered, so this looks promising. Why is this not just really good? I don't even see how like a move like d5 would necessarily help. Like if there was a way I could improve this attack, but knight g3, pawn takes, bishop blocks, rook takes, king g1. Maybe I just go knight takes here, rook takes, queen c5. And the point being is that even if they defend that, I'm threatening to play e5, right? So they would need to get out of a pin and they can't. Yeah, I'm happy with that actually. Let's try it. Okay, so rook h2, king g1. Black's already won a pawn and wins by moving the next rook to h8. Or by using the b6, g1 diagonal. Yeah, that's kind of what I was doing. So that's good. God, I'm glad we got one right. So was this a decent move? Rook takes d4. Queen c5. Ah, queen c4 is a very clever move to deal with that. Yeah, that's a very annoying move. Yeah, queen c4 is very strong. But even castle's queenside is good as well. I mean, I looked at castle's queenside, but I just was looking for something more. Like, I wanted something more concrete. Dare you play a3 in one of these games? No, I don't dare. I don't dare. I've got enough, like, decent openings to kind of, like, swap between. I don't need to resort to moves like a3 on move 1. I don't know. I'd have to be extremely tilted to start a game of a3, I think. Honestly, I want to play a game of chess first. I want to play a game of lead chess just to like kind of wake up a bit. I feel like I'm really slow with these tactics this morning. Hello, will selecting the bell next to the subscription button send a phone notification when you are live? Apologies if it's a dumb question. It's not a dumb question, Cody. I think that's how it works as well. I don't really get YouTube, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Like, anytime I upload something on the channel, which I haven't done in a long time, or I go live, then that should give you a phone notification. Which I think you can always switch off whenever, so I think it's... yeah, it would be fine. But yeah, I'm going to just play a 3+2 game. I just want to kind of wake up a bit, and then we'll get back to Chessable and play some more. Let me move my camera as well. Okay. Wow, and the guy... Oh, is he back? Okay, so we've got our reverse Caro-Kann. And interestingly, he's not playing with d5 here, so we're not going to get our typical like Carlsbad kind of compensation, but I'm generally quite happy here. Because, okay, it looks like they might be trying to play for this, but at the same time, as long as I keep my bishop, so that's why I want to play h3 now. This is going to be some huge pressure for the rest of the game. I gotta develop the knight before the bishop, otherwise I blunder this. So this kind of, to me, resembles a bit more of like a King's Indian type position. Now, even though he's played aggressively, I probably want to castle kingside, but maybe I want to delay it just one move. Let's play a4. Feels like it could be useful. a6. Maybe let's put the queen here, because I feel like this diagonal is already quite weak, right? So, it makes sense to put a piece here. Okay. He castles, so that gives me more confidence. I can castle. And yeah, I think my position looks great. Maybe I want to play the move b4 to just try and hinder the c5, but I also don't think c5 is any good. But b4 also feels very, very right. Actually, what about a5 then b4? a5, b5, b4, and I really put a clamp down on the c5 move. Actually looks really good. Yeah, let's do that. b4 is a tiny bit weak, but I think the pressure that I'm going to get on the c7 pawn is going to more than compensate it. Wow, he just goes to c5. Huh. For some reason I didn't think this was possible, but actually, maybe it is. There's a move I'm very tempted by. You know what? Let's just go for it. I think it's probably incorrect, but if they take back with the pawn knight takes, and I feel like I've got some great pressure on d6. Maybe this is too much, but these pawns are also potentially very strong as well, right? So I don't know. I have a feeling maybe he didn't have to accept the sacrifice. Maybe this was better. Okay, knight takes though. Oh, my queen is hanging. That's not good. Probably just queen takes. I think this looks alright for me. So I'm hitting the bishop right now. If knight takes, I gain another tempo, and I'm winning a bunch of pawns. And I feel like actually with the pieces, probably they wanted to keep the queens on the board. So I have a feeling my sacrifice was bad, but somehow it's worked out. Yeah, so now maybe they're trying to sack, right? This might be the idea with this at the end. But I still think it's good for me. How do I want to capture, actually? I could just try and get all the pawns, but I don't know if that's enough. Let's do it this way. They might try this, but at the same time I can just take it. So I don't think they will try it, actually. So what's the situation? I'm actually a pawn up. And these pawns are pretty crazy. Now I probably don't want to give them the bishop pair. I probably just want to activate my pieces. The question is how. Maybe start with a knight. Start with a knight. Oh, they're just happy to trade like this? That I'm surprised by. Oh, because they want the pawn. Guess that makes sense. Maybe I could attack them. Let's try this. Okay, it's 3+2 as well, so that's good. Probably if I want to avoid any chance of losing, then I should probably try and trade these kingside pawns. Oh, and now they're no longer attacking the pawn though, so that's good news. And probably we want to keep the bishop. So let's play this. Maybe let's hit the bishop again. So we want to also stick to the dark squares if we can. And now we have a chance to defend, so I think let's try and defend it. Now we ideally want to get something rolling, like something like this going. Maybe using the king will be useful as well. So let's start with f3 maybe, and we can then try and play for this. Maybe g4 now is good. Let's start with king f2. Let's start with this. I guess f4 is strong maybe? I feel like I can hardly see my screen. It's so bright outside today. It's like a really sunny day. You know, I'm kind of tempted to push the pawn. Let's do this. Now I can push. This was like my this was my rough idea. I know they can win a5, but this was my rough idea. They might be able to get away, but I can always take actually. My bishop defends my rook, right? So these pawns look very strong now. Also, all my heavy pieces are on dark squares. Okay, getting down to 1 second is probably not a smart idea. So let's be a bit careful. Let's not have any loose pieces. Maybe I should be a bit more careful with my king, but... I don't know if this was a good idea, but it felt decent somehow. I don't really know what my pieces are doing. I'm just trying to coordinate them in a way that makes some sense. I don't like putting my pieces on light squares, but at the same time I feel like I am making progress here. So that's good, I guess. Maybe this is an idea. So this might be a draw, but I feel like given the activity of my pieces, I still have decent winning chances. Now I saw that as well. But again, my pieces are so active right now. And I've still got a pawn. If I can keep hold of this pawn... No, I lost the pawn. Unless... JK, unless... I'm actually blundering too much. I don't know. This is going to be a mess now. This is going to be a mess. Now I need to keep to the dark squares. I need to stick to the dark squares. Alright, let's try and grind this out. It's not going to be easy. I need to stick to the dark squares at all costs. Oh, it's so close to working. So close to working. Maybe let's create some discoveries. Oh, this is such a tense. Okay, I need to make sure I don't lose this as well. Okay, my king's in a slightly better position this time. Who's gonna make the first blunder? This is the question. Like, you might think it's completely pointless to play on, but I feel like one of us will blunder with 10 seconds. I feel like this is also some good practice. I mean, ultimately you have opposite colored bishops, so that does feel like there could be some tricks in the position. I think that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted some practice of just playing with the pieces. That somehow looks dodgy. That also seems like a decent move. He can basically trade everything off here, but he doesn't. He's quite low on time though. I feel like if I play really quick here, I can maybe try and grind something. Oh, it's so close to working. Move that bishop somewhere, please. Alright, stick to dark squares. Stick to dark squares. Oh, that could have been something as well. Oh, and that's actually a draw. Was it 50 moves? I missed the fork! I missed the fork. No! No, I actually had a fork at the end. And then I would have had to grind rook and bishop against... Ah, for fuck's sake. Oh, no. And it says it's a draw because... Engine doesn't agree that I'm going to be able to make progress here. I can't believe I had progress on move 48. That's so annoying. Ah, it's so annoying. I mean, this is what I was waiting for, right? Basically for my opponent to slip up. And bro did. Ah, and that was such a nice move to actually bait the attack as well. Oh my god, these pieces are on light scales. I just needed to find this. I think I was too much in defensive mode, actually. Want to play against me? Blitz, Arjun says. Let's do some more chessable first. But okay, this is good practice, right? Like, how many times have I had this rook and opposite color bishop endgame where I'm just grinding? Like, now I know that I need to look out for this fork as well. Like, okay, it might be obvious, but clearly not obvious enough. Now bishop takes now looks decent. Let's say the queen moves somewhere and I take this rook. Yeah, everything is dropping, right? So basically, if I take here, pawn takes, knight takes, then they probably have to play a move that defends the bishop, and they can't, right? They can't move the queen b7. So this just looks really strong. I think this looks really strong. I'm just double checking if there's any kind of counter threats, but I don't think so. So this looks really good. And again, I feel like I'm a bit faster now, so this is good. I think that blitz game did me good. Ah, I can't believe I missed a fork at the end. Would have been so nice to try and grind this rook and bishop. Okay. So in 48 minutes, there will be pairings, which is quite exciting. Okay, after this puzzle, I think I want to read over some of my like tournament tips and just like get those refreshed, even if they're not at the forefront of my mind. Just like have it in the back of my mind at least. If I can solve this puzzle, that is. Oh, maybe we can. Oh no, we can't take this because of the knight. I was thinking whether we could just bail out with winning some material somehow. So, I mean, this is a threat, right? What am I supposed to do about it? I'm a pawn down as well. The thing is, even if I'm sucking at these tactics, I'm still glad that I'm at least trying to warm up. I think this warm up will be useful. How does this actually go? Queen d8, queen d8, queen f8, rook takes g7, king takes is forced. Do we have some kind of like annoying check here now? They actually have to go to f7, which is forced. Oh my god, I think this is mating. Queen g6 check. And then bishop check, mate, pretty much. The knight has to take. That's actually very cool. Somehow, like, it's that, like, almost epaulet mate where, like, the king has these pieces stopping. Whoops, what am I doing? Queen check. Stopping its escape. Nice. Let's go. Let's go. So, guys, with my 10 minutes left, I want to discuss some of like the tips. And in this notebook, which I kind of keep as a planner, I've written some tips at the back, which I haven't read in a very long time. So probably it's worth reading these. So the first one I've written is respect your opponents 100%. Even if they're playing terribly, you should then you should be winning. So crush them. Yeah. So this is the thing, right? Like when your opponent is playing terribly, if you just like fixate on that, then you might start playing worse because you feel like you can get away with anything. But you need to just respect that, you know, okay, especially for this tournament, if they made it into the English Championships, they're a good player. So even if they happen to be making a bunch of bad moves, they might suddenly turn it around. And just try and punish them over the board, not in terms of anything else. Because, yeah, I remember one game where it really got in my head because my opponent was playing so badly. And I ended up like missing everything and losing. So yeah, just full respect for your opponent and yeah, play your best, I guess. Never auto recapture. This was important. I lost a game against an IM where I had a winning position and I auto recaptured and I lost because of that instead of playing like a attacking move. Don't stress about ratings. Yeah, so especially after COVID, ratings mean nothing. Avoid all external thoughts during a game in order to reach peak form. Focus only on two things, the moves and your breathing. Yes, be as relaxed as possible when you play. Right. So any external thoughts, back to breathing, back to playing the board. Very important. When you reach the end of your prep in a game, play natural and logical moves. So yeah, definitely take a second to refresh. Natural logical moves, yep. Upon reaching a new critical position, always reevaluate your objectives. Are we playing for a win, fighting for a draw? What is going on? So yeah, very important as well. Now we have a look at these. And then these are some other pieces of advice as well. Yeah, exciting. Let's go. I'm very excited to be playing. Right. Arjun, do you want to finish with a game? I'll have one final game against you, and then I better get packing. I think your name is Arjun Pida. We can, if you send me a challenge, we can have one final game. Ah, that would have been so cool to have that position to grind out rook and bishop. Okay, just because I'm a bit tight for time, I'm just gonna make an opponent. Let's just play one final 3-minute game. Then I'll pretty much have to go after this. So let's play g6. I mean, for blitz, it's important to be able to play openings that you can play quickly and you understand well. Do I want to allow for the doubled pawns or not? Or do I want to keep a knight on f6? I always forget what's better in these positions. Well, I assume my opponent played too quickly and didn't mean to lose that pawn. I know this is definitely playable. I've had this position before. I think the first time I had this position was against Alex Royale. Some reason this feels wrong, but I can't work out why. If they play h4 here, this is like a common trick to not get crushed, basically. You just play knight g4 and then play h5, and then you stop the attack. This is a good one to know. Probably queen a5 looks good, right? This looks pretty strong. You can play this as well. Why not? Threaten mate in 1, provoke some weaknesses. Now we've actually got a hook. So we could try and play a5, a4. Maybe let's start with b5 first, because then we can drop behind and then push a4. I think this looks very strong. I guess I have to go back. Maybe I can even get away with bishop d5. I feel like he can't play c4. c4 feels way too risky. Let's put the bishop on d5. Aha, so I guess g6, king g7 makes a lot of sense. Just put more defense onto the square. And okay, he's pretty quick with his attack. I feel like we should be pretty fast as well. Is queen b6 the move, or do we want queen d8? I don't know what's better. Probably b6. Yeah, let's go b6. So we can go queen e5. He doesn't. What's he threatening with this move? I don't really see it. I feel like let's just go a5. Maybe he's trying to push this pawn. Maybe that's an idea. But, oh, he just grabs the pawn? Okay, I completely missed that the pawn was hanging actually. But probably I would have done the same thing anyway. I think we can be very fast with this attack. Oh, maybe I could have gotten away with taking here. Maybe I still can. He can take on g6, but then... No, I can't take on b4 just yet. Wait, why can't I play this? This looks really strong. Or maybe even this rook. Let's do this rook. Yeah, because then I can bring the other rook here. Oh, and he wants the trade. Interesting. In normal game, I would just flag the guy. But I'm streaming and playing, so I'm actually down on the clock. So don't really have that option. Even though I'm down material, I actually quite like my position. Although I just maybe blundered even more pawns. Yeah. Let's take this way. Give myself some practical chances. Okay, that pawn might be useful, right? So let's keep it. Maybe we can play rook d7 next. Yeah. Yeah, this position's gonna get real tough. Real tough. I saw d5 was hanging, I just didn't know how to deal with it, really. Maybe let's play this, just try and cover e7. I don't know if that does something. Maybe that does something. I think my opponent was trying to flag me because I was really low on time. Which is always a bad idea. Do I see a mate? Start with that. There we go. There we go. Oh, that does the trick. That does the trick. And on that note, it's 9:25. Time to call it a day. We finished with a win and a draw. We'll take that. As our final warm-up before the English Championships. So guys, wish me luck. Time to go play some serious chess. And yeah, this is going to be a lot of excitement. You guys can follow my games as well on Lichess if you want. It's going to be here. But I should probably not be showing my my accounts on that page. But yeah, on that note, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. See you guys around. What are my goals? My goals are to survive the English Championships. My first round starts in around an hour and a half. So, adios and wish me luck. Goodbye.